decided to wear green today, the color of money. Hello and welcome to my channel. This is the Indigo Jo channel and I am an intuitive tarot reader. So today I'm going to be doing a little career reading for people who are interested in knowing about their career, what's going on now, what steps you should be taking in the future, and anything else you should look out for. So I have 3 piles in front of me that you can choose from. It goes from left to right, starting with kyanite, and then euclase, and then carnelian. And I'm going to show you a little close-up of that right now. After you've chosen your pile, go ahead and click on the timestamp that I put in the description below for your reading. Hi Pile 1, this is for those of you who chose the kyanite crystal card pile. Let's get into your career reading. Let's see. All right. So, getting into the tarot that I picked for you guys initially. What I'm sensing is you guys could be holding on to your work situation right now, a work situation that isn't necessarily making you guys happy, or a situation that you're not necessarily satisfied with or content with, but you guys are holding on for dear life because of the finances involved. And I see that because we have 4 of Pentacles here. So it shows a man who's holding on very, very tightly to their coins and sitting on a bag of money, but the man is not happy. He's pretty grumpy. I don't think he's in a good mood, but he feels like he needs to like clutch these very tightly for some reason. So I feel like maybe you guys are very concerned with your finances. You're afraid if you let go of this job, this career, this position that you're currently working in, it'll leave you with nothing, or it'll leave you pretty desperate for money. So that might resonate for you guys, but I feel like whatever work situation you guys are in, it seems like someone's having you do their dirty work. They're having you do all of the work that they don't want to be doing, when you also have things that you have to do yourself. So it's kind of like these 2 swords here are the work that you already have to do, and then someone's giving you like their work on top of that. And they could be treating you kind of unfairly, like maybe using you and paying you unfairly, but you know, like I said, you guys feel like this is something that you have to do. Like maybe you're stuck in this situation because you feel like it's the only option you have right now. Even from this 7 of Pentacles, I feel like you guys are really stuck in like looking at the past, like looking at all you've done for this company and this specific job, or all of that you've worked for up to this point. And it's like, instead of looking to the future or even looking in the present, you guys are kind of stuck saying like, well, I've been here for so long, and like, you know, this is what I know, and you're kind of afraid to venture out into different areas. But I feel like your wealth, the future of your finances, lie in an area that you are not currently in. I feel like they lie in the unknown, and it's like paramount for you to journey off and for you to explore in order to find the opportunity that's actually going to bring you more abundance and wealth. So, you know, this is a general reading, so I'm not going to specify which career you guys are in, but I do have a few that I see. Like, some of you could work in fashion and retail, some of you could work in restoration is what I'm getting, like restoring old things. Some of you could work in communication, media, anything of that sort. But yeah, I definitely feel like you guys feel like you have to work in this job, or else like your money is going to leave you. But for your next steps, I'm kind of seeing that there's an opportunity for you that's actually going to be far away. It's not going to be where you currently are physically. So I think you have an opportunity in another city or even another state that's going to come up, and it's going to give you a lot more abundance and like growth, expansion, because where you are, it kind of seems like a desert area, like you're this person in the background that's like, hey, look at me, but then all the opportunities are up here. So I feel like there is going to be some opportunity for a new job, but you guys will have to travel to that. And I think your angels and your guides, like the divine is trying to tell you this. This is a message they've been shouting at you, but I don't know if it's like, maybe you know this already and you just have been avoiding it, or it's fallen on deaf ears, but you know, they just want you to know there's something coming up that might require you to have to move, and you know, you're going to have to make that decision yourself on whether you want to grow in your career and move, or if you're comfortable where you are. You know, consider if you're working the same job or you're in the same space career-wise for a long time. Like, would you be okay with being in that same space for the next 10 years? That's something you have to ask yourself, because if not, I think a move is probably going to be what's suited best for you in the near future. We also have the Justice card. So yeah, I feel like wherever you're at, there could be some unfair treatment. They could be treating you unfairly. They could be paying you unfairly. And I feel like you guys are kind of collecting karma the more you stay there. Like, the more you stay there, the more unhappy it's making you, the more unhappy it's making you, the more karma you're collecting. And it's just going to be a cycle. It's going to be this continuous karmic cycle unless you learn how to cut it out and let the unnecessary things go and move forward into what's going to bring you more abundance, what's going to bring you more balance in your life, and what's going to be more fair for you. And then with Page of Swords, yeah, I feel like whatever this is, you know, you and this new opportunity might require you to do some schooling, taking some classes, doing your own research, taking some time out to gather yourself and go in a new direction. But whatever it is, it's gonna be something that's more fulfilling to you. It's something that interests you more, something you're really curious to learn about, something that excites you, and it seems more like an adventure. Like, it's something that's gonna be like fun for you and make you feel so much more youthful and more of yourself. It's gonna be more authentic for you. So, you know, whatever that is to you, whatever it is that popped into your mind, that is what it is, you know. That's what's coming towards you, an opportunity to do something that you really feel good about, that really makes you happy. And, you know, this could have to do with communication, because we have swords here. It could have to do with media. It could have to do with sciences. Like I said, research. I'm getting like weather. I'm getting documents. So I don't know if that rings a bell for anybody, that's what's coming up. But the fact that you guys picked kyanite kind of tells me that there needs to be a sense of harmony in this situation. Like, because kyanite is all about bringing harmony to rifts, to disharmony, to conflict. So I feel like whatever work situation you guys have been in, it's brought up a lot of conflict with you and someone else, or just in the workplace in general. It's full of drama, it's full of conflict, and you are in a space now where you really need balance for yourself. And you, I think, have evolved past this sort of conflicting, dramatic work environment. So it doesn't suit you anymore. It's kind of like you've evolved. It's like you're a butterfly hanging out with a lot of caterpillars, you know. It doesn't fit you anymore. It doesn't suit you anymore. And so kyanite is all about moving towards harmony. And sometimes that could even mean letting go of conflict, like letting go of situations or environments that don't suit your peace anymore, and moving forward into something that's going to be more beneficial to you personally and more prosperous to you. So that's what I see there. And then for your oracle cards, we have Journey. So that's really interesting, considering I kind of sensed that there is an opportunity for you that's going to be a little far away. And that could even be like a 45-minute drive away. It doesn't necessarily need to be another country or anything, but it's going to make you step out of your comfort zone. It's going to feel a little out there for you, and it might even make you feel vulnerable and uncomfortable at first, but it's going to be worth it. And like this girl who's climbing on this bridge here, and it's kind of dark, she doesn't really know where to go next. There's all these different signs and directions. She's guided by the light that she has, and I feel like you're going to be guided by that light, by that intuition, and you're just going to automatically know your next steps as long as you get really clear in your intuition. So I would do a lot of like third eye meditations and get really clear, but I think you're going to be okay to take this risk. And I know it's kind of scary and kind of daunting to think about, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And then we have compassion. Soften your heart with respect to this situation and all of the people involved, including yourself. So yeah, I think maybe there was a situation where you felt slighted, where you felt taken advantage of, you felt uncomfortable, but you felt like you had to stay there, like you were stuck there for some reason. But just know that like you are not stuck, okay? You're gonna be fine without them. But in the end, have compassion for whoever it was, because they probably felt stuck themselves, Have compassion for everyone involved, and know when it's time for you to move forward. And, don't leave anything behind. Don't leave any bad feelings. Don't leave any resentment. Just have a clean break as much as you possibly can. If you have to talk to someone, tell them why you feel like it's best for you to leave. If you can't do that, that's fine, but just be okay with it, and don't feel like this was like a waste of your time or a failure, because it wasn't. It taught you a lot. You matured a lot from it, and I think, where you are right now is the reason why you're going to have this new opportunity come in. So it's going to help you in some way to gain your new opportunities. And then we have the answers you need are coming, full moon, and Gemini. So if you feel like you don't know what this is yet, I feel like this is probably something that's coming up, or you're going to hear some communication about it, and you're going to receive a lot of clarity in the upcoming, I'd say, month, or maybe by the time of the next full moon. You're going to receive a lot of messages and clarity, and I think you're going to start to see all of the different options you have, whereas before maybe you were feeling a little bit stuck, or like you only had one option. So that will be coming up soon, and that is all I have for you, Pile 1. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you in a future reading. Thanks, bye. Hi, Pile 2. This is for those of you who chose the Euclase crystal card pile. Let's get into reading. Funny enough, I had never heard of Euclase until I came across this card in the deck, and I actually had to do some research about it. When I found out it was a crystal, I had never heard of it, but it's interesting. I don't know, I feel like it's very unique and different, and that kind of tells me that whoever picked this pile is probably very unique and different in themselves. So definitely cherish that aspect of yourself. But let's get into this reading here. Starting with the tarot for you guys' career situation. Let's see. I feel like you guys have been working with someone who has kind of been talking a lot. It's like you guys, there's someone that you work with who could be like a partner or a colleague or a boss that does a lot of empty talking. One of those people that just talks but doesn't actually have anything that comes from it. So someone could have been giving you a lot of empty promises, and this was someone that when you met them and you trusted them because you thought they were very intelligent, they seemed like trustworthy people, but it's they just talk and they neglect the promises that they've told people, like everyone, I don't know, I'm just looking at this card here. This is the Judgment card. So it's like everyone in the background is kind of like, hey, over here, remember me? And like these people up here are so engrossed in what, you know, the angel is telling them. And they're like, okay, I'm ready to receive, but there's like nothing in their hand. So it's kind of like that situation where it's like someone really, really pulled you in with their words and kind of blew smoke in your face, but they didn't actually follow through with what was promised originally. And this could be like a boss, because we have the King of Pentacles in reverse. So this could be an older male figure, or just someone, you know, a more masculine figure who is only seeking their own benefit and is seeking reward for themselves for everything that you contribute to the project, or for everything that you contribute to the company. This is someone who wants the reward for themselves. And, you know, yeah, and with red, I just get like an Aries vibe here. So if you guys know an Aries, it's just someone who is more intent on their progress, their growth, and isn't really looking out for others. This could also be an earth sign, but I feel like you guys are represented by this Queen of Wands, and you guys are very creative, and I think they have you like, you're kind of like cooped up in this corner. Like I just see someone in a corner of an office, like working away, but then daydreaming at the same time. Like you're slaving away for someone else's company, but then you're like dreaming of all of these ideas and these projects you have in your mind and all these great things that you could start, but you're not actually doing it because you're just working for someone else, and you're just like dreaming of this thing that seems so far away that you could actually be doing. And essentially what I'm seeing with like the next steps here, we have Page of Wands. So I feel like whoever this person is, there could also be someone that you work with, like a coworker or a colleague, that hasn't been doing the job as for as long as you have, that is like trying to compete with you in some way. I'm getting like some mixed stories here. So this is one scenario. There's someone who hasn't been doing the job for as long as you have, but they want to compete with you because we have Five of Wands for some position. They want to compete with you for some sort of recognition, and it's causing a lot of conflict in the workplace. So I'm getting that you guys should definitely stand up for yourselves. If there's a situation where you feel like you're being treated unfairly, definitely stand up for yourselves. Make sure that you are showing, you know, your confidence in yourself and your abilities as well, because, you know, no one is going to be speaking for you. Like, you have to speak up for yourself in order to get the justice that you deserve. But if that's the case, like if there's a colleague and it's actually someone who's like your age or younger than you, who's like vying for your position or something like that and treating you unfairly, I'm getting, if you guys do speak up for yourself in some way, there will be a peaceful resolution with this person. So if that's what you guys are looking for, there will be harmony with this person. You just need to, first of all, speak up for yourself. Definitely hold your ground, stand your ground, be confident in yourself, because people smell fear, you know. Don't be afraid to speak the truth, you know, speak your truth from an authentic place, and then soften up a little bit so that it's not this heavy energy throughout. Like if someone needs to be forgiven, forgive them. Just make sure that you are very clearly understood. But then I have another scenario here where if you guys are kind of cooped up in this office and you feel like you have these ideas and they're not being heard, and like your boss just wants the money for themselves and they don't respect you, or they don't want to pay you more for your ideas, or there's not any growth here, there's not any expansion here. I'm getting there is an opportunity if you want to venture off by yourself and kind of start your own company or start your own project. on your own. It's gonna, take a little while to build up, but I do see some prosperity coming from that. And it's gonna take a lot of confidence though. It's gonna take a lot of confidence in yourself and your abilities. So if you don't feel like you have that, I would hold off on this. But I do feel like you guys have a lot of confidence, as you're kind of seen here as the Queen of Wands. So that's someone who knows what they bring to the table, has very high self-esteem. So in this case, I think it's time for you guys to kind of break off and do your own thing. And I do see reward coming from that. You're gonna have to really show the world what sets you apart though. And I get that from this card too, because the one in the middle here is dressed very different and looks very different than the rest, and is a little bit younger too, so you guys might be a little bit younger than the competition in whatever field you guys are in. But I do see a lot of reward coming when you own your differences. So I would say whatever sets you apart from your competition, definitely amplify that. Use that to your advantage, because that's what's going to attract people to you, is the fact that you have something that other people don't, that sets you apart, and you're confident in that as well. And also, I would say definitely, if you're going to start some kind of project or business, make sure you have savings, make sure you have money saved up, because that's also going to set you apart. Because, I think the more fear that comes into play with starting a business, the more worries come up. Like if you don't have enough money to cover your bottom line expenses, then it's just gonna have this like very unstable foundation for a company and for a new business. So you want to make sure you can cover your bases, and that's going to help you moving forward as well. And I think whatever this is, it's going to have to do with something creative, something that you loved doing when you were a child, something that really brought you joy and felt more like a gift. It felt more like a game. It felt like something you were really grateful and blessed to do. And whatever that is that sparks that like childlike joy in you, is follow that feeling, because that's where your prosperity lies in the future. And for some people, I'm getting this could have to do with like design, like interior design, architecture, or like growing plants, growing flowers, growing fruits, something of that sort, but it doesn't have to. Okay. And then, well, getting into your crystal too, you guys picked euclase. And so from what I know about euclase, I don't even know if that's how you pronounce it. That's how I say it, euclase. From what I know about this crystal, I know that it has to do with like divine intelligence and divine guidance and wisdom. So it's like the marriage of your own wisdom from what you've learned in this lifetime and your intuition. So taking what you've learned in this lifetime and coupling that with your gut feelings, your intuition, what you feel like you're being guided to do, combine that together, and you're getting like this divine intelligence of what you need to do moving forward. And yeah, in this case, it's like, I think you already know the answer. It's kind of like that idea. Like, I feel like you guys already know what you need to be doing. You just need to make that decision to go ahead and do it. And with your oracle, you guys have hostilities. So I do feel like there have been hostilities in your workplace, in your career life, and you've really felt like you've been kind of like a target, or you've always had to have your back, like watch your back. You've always had to have your sword ready and in hand. And I just feel like that's not the environment that's going to bring a lot of comfort. It's not going to bring a lot of abundance moving forward, because you're always going to fear that you have to like watch your back like everywhere you go. Like that just stirs up more fear. So you got to be careful not to pay attention to like the fear that people try and instill in you, the fear that your own mind tries to bring up again and again, move away from that. Like, if you feel like you're constantly afraid in your workplace, definitely move away from that. Or if people are trying to scare you into thinking like you need this job or you're not going to be successful, or people who are trying to fill you with negative thoughts and ideas, that's something you need to move away from. And then we also have you are safe. Archangel Michael, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and home. So yeah, this just comes down to always remember that you're safe and protected, and don't let those fears get in the way. Trust your intuition. Definitely use your past experience as wisdom, but you have to differentiate the wisdom from the fear, because if you keep listening to the fear, it's just going to keep you stuck in this place where you keep daydreaming. And then lastly, surrender to the divine, full moon. So if all else fails, remember the divine has you. You're always on the right path. You're always where you're meant to be. If you need help, call on it whenever you need it. And you just have to remember there's some things you can't control. So in those cases, sometimes you have to throw your hands in the air and be like, okay, just guide me to where I need to be, and like, I will go there. So that's all I'm getting for you guys, pile 2. If you liked it, please leave me a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you in a future video. Thank you, and goodbye. Hi, pile 3. This is for those of you who chose the Carnelian crystal card pile. Let's get into your career reading. So I started off with some tarot cards. Sorry if I'm speaking too soft. Picked some tarot cards and then just a few oracle cards to get into, but let's get started with Carnelian. You guys picked Carnelian. So Carnelian is a crystal that's all about self-assurance, self-knowing, growing in confidence and stability, being very secure in what you want, where you're going, who you are, even in the face of adversity. Just being very confident in yourself and in your abilities to do things on your own autonomy, and knowing that you can accomplish it by yourself no matter what people say to you, what's presented to you, you know that you got this. So I feel like this is you guys right now, or this is what's happening for you guys, where it's like you guys are kind of growing in that confidence and self-assurance, even though you might not be there just yet, but I definitely see that coming for you guys. And getting started here in what's happening, I feel like you guys are actually in a really good spot. Like, we have 9 of Pentacles here. This is someone who is making that money or is about to come into a lot of money, someone who is independent, someone who is capable on their own, who is financially stable, who's prosperous. We definitely see that with all the grapes here, like someone who's really coming into their own and coming into a lot of prosperity, and someone who is using their intuition and their, divine guidance to help them along the way, and is very confident in the decisions that they're making. So I definitely feel like you guys are in this great spot, and I think maybe some of you are business owners, or some of you freelance or kind of work on your own and make your own decisions, and in that regard, I think you guys are in a very, very good place. I do feel like, though, there are some people who are watching you and watching what you're creating, watching what you're doing, and they're interested in that. And I think they're interested in working with you, collaborating with you, or even investing in what it is that you're working on. However, I do feel like this is a warning for you guys, because I don't feel like these people have your best interest at heart. I don't feel like these people are going to honor your vision. I think they are going to try and maybe like manipulate you, or try and take over control of what it is that you're working on for their benefit, because we do have the Devil card here, and Devil to me is always manipulation, greed, ego, control. It's all about control. So I think there's someone who is watching you or someone who is overseeing you that wants control of the situation and, you know, what it is that you're working on, your project, or even your company. They want some say in it. They want to be able to kind of suppress your voice a little bit and your vision, and maybe even steer it in a direction that's going to be more like beneficial for them financially, and something that you don't necessarily agree with. Maybe even like be a little shady in their tactics to help create some sort of wealth from it that's maybe a little bit morally, what's the word? Suspicious, morally suspicious. So I definitely would pay attention to any red flags that you're getting from people who you're working with or are overseeing your projects. You want to make sure that you're getting the credit for the project that you deserve. Please do not enter into any contracts that you don't carefully look over, because devil tells me toxic energy here, toxic contracts. So make sure you're not roped into anything that you will be chained to in the near future. This is definitely a big warning for you guys, not to scare you, but I'd say your abundance and prosperity lies from you being autonomous, and it lies from you being in control of what you're doing career-wise. Because for your next steps, we have the Empress here, and the Empress, I believe, is like, you know, someone who is completely in control of herself and her life, someone who creates the life they desire, the life that they have always dreamed of, and they use their intuition in order to do so. They use their creativity in order to do so, and they have expanded to something even greater than they thought that they could possibly get to. And for me, you know, Nine of Pentacles is kind of like leading up to the Empress, because Nine of Pentacles is someone who is building their wealth, someone who is coming into their own and is happy being this single person who is independent and doesn't need anyone. And then with the Empress, it's like, not only are you, you know, creating this abundant life for yourself, and not only are you alone, you're actually creating new life. You're expanding even more. You're helping someone else. You're helping others. And I think that's where your prosperity lies, and it lies in something that is emotionally fulfilling to you, something that is your idea of the 10 of Cups, basically that dream life you always wanted and always wished for when you were a kid. And for some people, that's like the white picket fence, the dream home, the husband, the wife, the kids, the dogs, and all of that, which could very well be your dream as well. But whatever that is to you, that thing, that career that is the most emotionally fulfilling thing, that is what's going to lead you to this Empress mentality and this Empress space where you have that prosperity and you're at the top of your game. So I think you guys are going to be faced with a choice in the near future, and it's like you can either choose to come into this contract with people and have them maybe control you, and maybe you get a little more notoriety from that, you get a little more finances than you have had previously, or you can choose the thing that's going to emotionally fulfill you, and that's actually going to lead to more abundance than you would have had with this contract. So that's what's coming for you guys career-wise in the near future. With your oracle cards, we have Storm Warning, and this is just kind of like reiterating what we saw in the Devil card. You know, this is a warning for you guys to decide right now what it is you want. Do you want something that's potentially stable for now, but could be harmful for your business and your career in the future? Or do you want to make the decisions for yourself? Are you that confident? You know, remember the carnelian spirit energy here. Are you self-assured enough and confident enough to go and move forward on your own, and to expand and to become this Empress energy, and to know that you're capable of doing it on your own? And then we have Take Back Your Power. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings into your life. So yeah, this is just reiterating back what we were saying with the Devil card again. It's like, I think someone wants to take your power away, or, you know, you could already be working with these people and you're kind of seeing how they're starting to take your own power away from you, and you have to stand up for yourself. And sometimes you just have to make that decision and say no, and know truly in your heart and in your soul and your intuition what is the best decision for you to make, and move forward in that decision and be self-assured that it was the right one. And then lastly, the energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. So I think there's something that's gaining momentum. It's going to come to a head. It's going to come to you making this final decision, and it's a decision that's actually going to be pretty darn important for you. So it's definitely something to look forward to, but I'm also kind of seeing this as the energy is gaining momentum in whatever it is that you guys have been working on for a while. Maybe you haven't seen it come to fruition yet, or you haven't seen it grow to the level that you would like it to grow to. And I think it's just gaining momentum, and it's going to hit that level eventually. Like, we have the Empress in the future, so I think it's going to get there. You just have to make sure you watch out for these storms, these possible hiccups that might arise, and make the best possible decisions for yourself. And that's all I have for you, pile 3. I hope it resonated. If it did, please leave me a like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you in a future reading. Thanks. Bye.